What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cactus Hands Game, and I'm Cactus Hands Clayton. And we're checking out some World of Warcraft pre-patch event for the Shadowlands today. I spent some time working on Funky Pants over the weekend, and was really trying to get him caught up so I wouldn't have to spend time in here. And he got most of the way caught up, a bunch of level 80, a couple level 100 something pieces of gear. I've pretty much come out here on Funky just to try to pick up a second weapon, so I have two 115 weapons. That would be kind of dope, or two 110 weapons. I'm enjoying the pre-patch event. I think it's really good. It's a good way to get caught up, and it's respectful of my time. It takes 20 minutes for each boss to spawn, but there's plenty of things I could be doing in the meantime, between killing random mobs for more of the Scourge Stones or working on my other alts, getting them done with their daily quest. There's plenty to do to keep you occupied in that 20 minutes. Not to mention there's plenty of stuff to do in real life while you wait for the bosses, if that's your flavor. I love to come out into the open world and be flying around with all the people. It's my favorite part of MMO. It probably always will be. I think most of us who play just love the feeling of mobbing deep. Just everyone mounted up and rolling between boss and boss is freaking cool. And yesterday there were so many people out here that everything went about 1 frame per second if you were lucky, maybe even slower than that. It was just insane. I have never seen so many people in one spot in an MMO. So that leaves me very excited for Shadowlands. So this is probably a really good time to hop into World of Warcraft, you guys. I just started a little over a month ago. What, if it's the 11th today, it says? Started right at the beginning of October. I don't know exactly which day was my first day of subscription. I think October 3rd. So I've been playing just over a month. I've gotten 4 jobs to level 50, which is the max now. I wouldn't have been able to do that if it was still 110. I can tell you that for a fact. I had spent over a week, almost 2 weeks of my spare time, and I had just gotten to 90. 90 is as far as I could get. And I wanted to get further, but there's a bunch of other things I like to do, so I didn't get to it. I'm going to no life Shadowlands once it comes out, though, and try to be as quick as I can to 60. I not notorious for being an all-night person, but I might go for it. It just sounds fun. I'm stoked for it. I haven't had that opportunity in a long time. I never felt compelled to do it in Final Fantasy. Why am I going to rush to the top? So I think to assert my dominance over Shadowlands, I'm going to try to get to 60 as fast as I can and be up there with the top dogs so that way I can start PvP, find a raiding team. I've got a couple of guilds that I'm in, and it doesn't seem like there's many raiders in them because they've called out for raids and no one really answers. I'll raid once Shadowlands comes out. And anyone who's known me for a while knows that's kind of my story. I'll raid on the next one. I'll raid on the next one. So hopefully the next one really is the one. But for now, we're just trying to get caught up. And like I said, this pre-patch event, if it's good for one thing, it's good for catching up. I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking or fun. It's just MMO like any other MMO. Go find the boss and kill the boss, hope for the loot. Go kill the things for the daily quest to get the loot. Turn in items to get currency, to turn in the currency to get the loot. It's all just a loot grind. But the loot makes you feel stronger, guys. When I got my fresh 50 yesterday with Nagasaru, he was getting squished in here. And this morning, just to try to finish out the last couple pieces, I bought everything I could for him, and then he was just melting everything. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Let me show you Nagasaru. So, Armchair hasn't been touched. He's going to be my last level 50 to get any gear. This is all still just leveling gear. I had some rough points with Armchair. There's a lot of buttons for Hunter, and I know my main ones, but I couldn't figure out all the stuff to do with the pet, if it even matters. Still loving Cactus Hands. Got him a couple pieces this morning. He's on his way up there. And then Nagasaru. This is my homie right here. This is my mage. He's my magey boy. So we're going to get on here and show you all the gear that we got. None of it's transmogged, if you couldn't just tell from right there, but none of the gear is transmogged yet. It's just kind of gear. So, yeah, check out that staff. Now that's a freaking mage staff right there, you guys. So like you can see, nothing groundbreaking. Ooh, I kind of like how those shoulder pads match my beard. I might keep those shoulder pads in the future because they are one of the only things that still need to be replaced. I need to replace my shoulder pads and my accessories and then everything else. See, he's level 86. Let's go played so you guys can check this out. 1 day and 3 hours. He's only been 7 hours since he got to level 50, and I'm caught up to my guy who's been level 50 for 2 weeks now. So that's it right there. That's the gearing. I mean, it feels great to be able to get it done real quick. It's not caught up with the endgame people, and I think that's important. I don't think I should be able to start a month ago and be caught up with the endgame people. They've been busting their butts playing Battle for Azeroth when no one enjoys it, according to the internet. And they've still managed to get geared up. So I would feel like it would be a slap in the face if a new player could catch up to them right away. And I think they did a good job. They did a good job of letting us get some gear so we don't feel completely weak without having to spend days playing through BFA to get your Azerite necklace leveled up and your Azerite back leveled up, and then just hoping to get some good gear through there. They made it so you could do it in an afternoon. I mean, 7 hours is a long time, no doubt, but that's plenty of other time to clean your house, get some chores done, do some exercise, do whatever in those 20 minutes. You know how many 20-minute breaks you get? You get 20-minute breaks every 20 minutes. You guys will see. This is how alts work in this game. I always kind of thought alts were stupid coming from Final Fantasy, where you get to play all the jobs on one character, but it really feels kind of cool to maximize your time effectiveness by having alts. I plan to level up most of the jobs if I keep playing the game. Really kind of depends on how good 5.4 is for FF14, but we'll see, because like everyone will tell you, this game's a lot more action-y than Final Fantasy XIV. You could call it the global cooldown, you could call it the veteran ship. I don't know what you want to call it. It's probably, if I had to guess, FF14 has to do things a little bit different, because otherwise it'll just be called a WoW clone. And I know every tab target MMO on the market always worries they're just going to be called the next WoW clone. No one wants to be the next WoW clone, WoW clone, WoW clone. So they have to be different. They have to find some way to keep it spicy, and by having the interweaving off global cooldown abilities and to focus more on mechanics than just action and being able to do your rotation effectively, let's get this kill. Falaric. I don't know what kind of gear he has. I haven't been paying attention to what the drops are. Here he goes. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I forgot to turn my settings back down. Forgot to turn them down. Oh, look at that. He got all of us. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, I got a hit, so, and that's that, guys. Let's see, did we get any loot? Oh, shit. I still haven't figured out what those puddles are that try to kill me every time. So in conclusion, guys, that's the pre-patch event for World of Warcraft. Is it something that I thought was going to be way more exciting with the zombies invading Azeroth? Yes. Is it an effective way to catch up for a new level 50? Also yes. Is it fun content? Not necessarily. It's just MMO content. If that's not what you were expecting, like me, then I'm sorry. I was a little let down as well, but it is what it is, guys. It was still fun for what it was, for what it is. I'll be spending a lot of time here throughout the next 2 weeks. I really kind of want to get another couple jobs leveled up, because we have this awesome 16th anniversary buff going on. But there's a 16th anniversary buff going on. You get 16% bonus EXP. Not to mention that it only takes level 50 to get there now, and it's super respectful of the new player's time. They don't want you to have to spend weeks trying to get caught up to your friends. They want you to be able to catch up to the in-game in a very short amount of time. I venture to say a new player with MMO experience could do it in a week of free time without much trouble, and a new player without MMO experience probably needs to hop on today, because it's going to take about a week to get familiarized with the systems, get up to level 50, and another week to gear out your guy if you only have a little bit of free time. But if you got a lot of free time, you could probably wait until a week before the game, play it all in a day or two tops. I'd probably say 24 hours to level 1 to 50 on a fresh guy for your first time. That's not unreasonable. I did it in 20 hours on a guy without the heirlooms, and it was only my second run. So I think that's pretty good for someone who doesn't know their way around the game. There's a bunch of quests, the little intricacies of the way WoW works I still hadn't really figured out. I wouldn't say I know all of them now, but I'm getting a lot better at figuring out which ones, or how the different quests work, because there's a lot more variety in the questing in this than Final Fantasy XIV. Disguised variety, because it's all the same. It's all just playing the game, but they like to disguise it in how you do it. So I think it's a good thing, guys. I wish Final Fantasy would take a note from this, and then maybe we'd feel more inclined to level up our gear in Final Fantasy, because you're not going to be able to catch up right at the end, which is why I've never leveled up gear. If everyone could come back on pre-patch and then be literally caught up to the top guys, then why would you gear up unless you're going to play week to week and raid and stuff? If you're not going to do that, there's no reason to gear up. And then what if they get caught up? You know, how good does that make you feel that you spent all your time getting all that gear and running mythic and heroic and visions and all that stuff? It makes it feel like a slap in the face, and I'm not about that. So I think WoW did a good job of letting the new player, yours truly, catch up in a little bit, but not disrespecting your veterans and not making them feel like their time was wasted because they could just catch up at the end. It's a good system. I think Final Fantasy could take a couple notes from that. Maybe only do one catch-up patch. Maybe make the raid, the 24-mans, not be catch-up all the time. Maybe make them be a true alternate progression, and then everyone can catch up to the highest, or a little bit below, right at the end there. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what the end-all be-all system is. I just know that there's something clearly going on with World of Warcraft that keeps people coming back. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I can tell you what, I figured out that the game's super fun. I'm excited, guys. I haven't been this excited probably since frickin' Final Fantasy XIV originally came out. I know with The Realm Reborn I was stoked because I have friends to play with. I had a couple buddies who played the original 14 with me, but I haven't been this excited since Final Fantasy XIV was announced and released. I didn't get this excited for Shadowbringers, I can tell you that much. I honestly only came back for Shadowbringers right at the end. I was on the edge about it the whole time, and then right at the end I decided, okay, I'll come back and check out Shadowbringers. The trailer is hype enough, but clearly it wasn't good enough because I stopped playing a week or two later. So I'm hoping Shadowbringers is a good expansion, and there's plenty to do, plenty to keep the community engaged. I know there's a lot of talk of kind of a more fun direction of the game and not a checklist, and I appreciate that. I like to play for fun. I like to go adventuring, so I can tell you I'll at least be adventuring until I get the flying achievement done for Shadowlands. I've never done Pathfinder, so I'm excited to give that a shot. I think it has something to do with reputation grind from what I gathered. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Hopefully if you were on the fence about coming back right now before Shadowlands, you hop back in. There's never been a better time to hop back in if you are a returning player. And it's arguable that there's never been a better time to join as a new player. With this level squish, it's super easy to get caught up. I'm telling you guys, I'm already caught up with options of what I want to play going into the new expansion. And granted, I'm an MMO nerd, but it is what it is. All right, y'all. That's it for me. Cactus Hands is out. Have a great afternoon. Peace.